Oh yeah. So in this session, I'd just like to show you where you can do some cool effects using the gradients, the gradient option, especially when we do the masking, and also when you do want to blend, let's say, skies with your landscape. This could be useful if you've got kind of a large vista and you want to emphasize the distance, for example, and you might have foggy mountains and so on and so forth. So what I've got here is the usual setup that I had. Remember, I made some color corrections and I merged and composed this guy with the background, but I also I also brought a kind of a cloudy background, cloudy sky. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the gradient tool and using the black to white. Black will remove when we do masking, black will remove our image and the white will keep our image. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick that, and on this image I'm going to create a mask. So what I want to do first of all, determine where our roughly where both horizons match. So I just want to make sure that I'm in the right place. I think this should be okay. And holding on to Shift button, I want to do a straight line here. Oops, I need to be in the mask. So we lost some color there, so I just want to bring this back and maybe turn this guy on. I've got a background color there as well. Here we go. I want to do something tiny. I can also use the cloud back and forth. I can even bring it right behind our object, but what I want to do, I don't want to do this. I want to be able to make it look like that the clouds are affecting our mountains. And if you don't want to, if you want to be careful and making sure that it's not in an angle, you can hold on to Shift button and just drag your gradient. So something like this will suffice. What you can do, for instance, in my case, this foreground, this building, this guy is meant to be in the foreground. We don't want it to look like that it's in the background covered with the clouds because it's actually close to our camera. So we can just drop this one above it and we get that. The only problem with this, obviously, is that if I was to do some matching colors on the background on this little mountains and hills and so on and so forth, then we'll have some trouble. We'll have to use the same color correction on here and the same one on there, perhaps. Or what we can do, we can just bring this guy back to where it was and go back to our cloud mask and switch to our brush tool and then maybe remove the clouds around this guy. So if it's okay if I get these kind of things, I can just bring the white and reduce opacity and keep some of that thing using my soft brush. You know, I can play with this all day. As I said, you can, if you want to really, you know, not deal with that, you can bring this guy up there, and then when you do the color correction, you can actually use the same adjustment layer that you're going to apply here on top, and so on and so forth. But the focus for us is these parts. So what we want to do, you know, we want to start removing some of these clouds because we didn't want to lose our background. I mean, that wasn't the intention. The intention was to add the clouds. So I pick and choose where I want to remove the clouds and where I want to keep them by switching between white and black color. Oops. And if you want to break some of this off, it's fine. It's perfectly okay. So now that we've got that, as I said, we've got this problem of this building. You know, but I'm just going to dump it there anyway. It's okay if it's got a bit of foggy stuff around it. I can clean it up later. So, so I've got a group with the backdrops with the landscape in it, and then I've got the sky. So what you can do, for example, you can think about matching colors. I've got nothing else to add to this scene, just for the sake of wrapping this up. What I can do, just do a quick color lookup under the adjustment. And then for this guy, I want to just pick something that is close to this sky. Just going to go through it. I think it was the foggy night, or it was a futuristic. Something like this. Let me just go back to this and remove some of this. I want to keep this part. I like that. So you can continue to work with your adjustments. Maybe in this case you can have, you know, your levels. It's okay to pick something around here, but I wouldn't, for this one, just leave it there for now. Your color lookup might be too much, just reduce it. You can play with this opacity, or we can, we can have the something like a soft light or something like that. The other thing we can do, perhaps in this case, if you don't like this guy, we can have, actually let me just take this outside this layer so that it affects the entire layer. Well, it's already doing that, but here we go. We can also have a color balance. So we can balance it with our colors. Something like this. It makes it a bit desaturated. Just check our shadows. So maybe cyan for the shadows. Just want to be careful and don't want to make it too much. I seem to get some green there. I didn't like that, but let me just turn on our futuristic bleak color. So I'll just double click, and I think that's too much. There was one to do with night from day or something like that. And we can reduce that a bit. Something like this. And as I said, you can carry on, play with your clouds and so on and so forth. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, the purpose of the session was actually to use gradients to blend the skies with the landscapes. So I hope you get that. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you.